Well, today we're going to be working on Debra's car, but just for you Range Rover enthusiasts, as promised, look, it has gone. Oh, happy day. It's gone, I hope, forever. Nah, you know it'll be back. Anyway, let's see what we're going to be doing today. Yep, we've got Debra's car in today, and she's complaining that the door locks won't open, and you can see how they're springing back, look, but they open from the outside, but the inside one won't open at all. Even though it's working on the actuator, it doesn't work. I'm not really sure, but it shouldn't be stuck open like that, so I think there might be something a bit dodgy with the mechanism. It feels ever so springy. Anyway, let's have a look. Look at the corrosion on the top of here, look at that. All cars I had when I was a lad, they all used to go rotten at the bottom of the doors. I've never seen one go rotten at the top. I don't know if there's much you could do without it, apart from cutting a section out of a good door and welding it in. But how long do you live? Anyway, what we've got to do first of all is take this door panel off. The key's in the ignition, that's a stupid thing, isn't it? I don't like them. See, she's got some fags down there, coffin nails. I'll throw them out. Got to get the handle off, got to get that panel off there, and then it's just a matter of popping it off. So let's see if we're going to get into trouble with that. Now, I took the door card off, and it was completely different to the video I just watched. I don't know what that was all about. I've left the cables on here for the lock and the latch, because I wanted to see what was going on in here. And it seems to be, apart from rusty, that piece there for the handle actually moves. If I can do some YouTube types super video with the handle, you can see that bit moves quite freely, and that's the locky thing, and that's down at the bottom. But I've got to thinking, I wonder if the handle's frozen here. I don't know. So I'm going to take that 10mm off there and see if we can move the handle a bit. I don't really want to take it out, but if I must, I must. And it only means taking that little clip off up there, which isn't the end of the world. And notice that this little flap here was already open. So, has somebody had to go at this before? Because I suspect so. They've cut round it, look. Or have they? I don't know. Why would they leave a flap open? Anyway, it's been off for a long time. Let's try and get that little clip off. Right, I think I found out what's wrong with it. I've got to take the door handle out and then I'll show you, but it is right fiddling about because it's all rusted up. But we've got to get this out of here. Come out. It's capped with rust. Ah, wait a minute. Almost there. Oh, I've never seen such a rusty wreck in all my days. Carry on. I think that bit there. There we go, now we're talking. I thought so. This pivot is seized solid, look. It's supposed to move. And what it's been doing is it's been flexing on the frame. This bit's not so bad. I know it looks shit, doesn't it? But it's not too bad. I think what we'll do is we'll put it through the wet bead blaster and clean up that spring. Clean up the bits. We don't need a new handle, but we've got to try and get that out. And it looks like it's a pin. Because that's supposed to be bolted to the door frame and that's allowed to move. Well, it isn't, and that's why the door handles are sticking out. Genius, eh? So I cleaned it up a bit in the bead blaster, and I sort of was a bit cautious about doing that because I didn't want to spray beads inside these mechanisms here. However, this one's working fine. This one, however, is a little stiff. Stiff little fingers. You can probably see just there where it's rubbing on the inside. So I'm going to just take a little file and file the inside of this, because you can feel these are like steel but zinc coated, and the zinc's swollen up a bit, and that's probably why I can't blast it. So I'm going to file it, because you see what happens is when I bring it down like that, look, it's stuck, and I think that's been its problem. It's been sticking. So let's file it up. There you go, beautiful. This time for lubrication I used some fluid film. Why not crown rust proofing? I wanted something that was going to be sticky, because it's on top of the door where all the water falls into it. I didn't want the product sort of not washing away, but I wanted something that was going to be sticky. You'll understand why. And this bit works beautiful. So I'm going to put it all back together again and test it. But I think that's it. That was all that was wrong with it. And if you can see here, there is some little nylon pads on there, and they're supposed to be like a lubricant. Nylon's like a self-lubricating material. So it's kind of well made, but not for Canada. But anyway, and what we'll do is down here, you can probably see it's all corroded, so we'll spray some fluid film around here. I think the lock is seized up. In fact, if the lock's seized up, then we might as well do that as well, as at the same time, eh? Sorry, stood in the way. Oh yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll have a look at the lock as well. I bet you that's seized up. Any money? Any money? Place your bets. Oh. Well, you would have lost, because it actually worked. So we'll fluid film the bejesus out of it, and we'll reassemble it. Oh, why do we reassemble? Oh, I can't say, can you? Why do you spray it before you reassemble it? You're going to get crap over your hands. Well, that's to ensure you're going to get all the spray all the way around it whilst it's nice and loose. So I got the assembly back in, and although it moves now, it moves on this pivot, which is great, but this here, it doesn't seem to spring back. And I'm just wondering whether the spring's broken. Because obviously that's supposed to be in the door, like that. But you can see when we pull it, there's no sort of real resistance. There's a pin here. I'm going to try and pull that out. And that should disassemble that piece there. And I wonder if it's snapped. We'll come back. Well, I was right again. The spring here has broken off. It's not long enough. It's not touching the plastic body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwind it. I won't warm it out because I'll take the temper out of the spring, but I'll unwind it and see if I can get it back to that position again. See, it's supposed to be lying like that. So we take one coil off, cut it down. We should be in the money. Oh, can't buy a spring, can you? Well, that worked out kind of nice. So now we've got a handle that returns back. See what I mean? What a mess about it. I've given it a good coating of fluid film. Should be alright. They are fiddly little things, aren't they? But once corrosion gets into these things, what a nightmare. I hope the other side's not the same. We'll see, the other side doesn't get opened too much, the passenger side, so maybe I can get into the panel and squirt some fluid film through, I'll see. Right, what's it like? Well, I did have still a bit of a problem with the handle sticking, but it works good because I always have on hand a box of assorted springs, always handy. The spring that had broke was already weak, and I'd taken one coil off and it was thin and weak, so I got a spring like this, opened this out till it was like a hook, and on the inside of the panel in here there's some stamped out holes. So I put one hole on there, and this other piece I curled around the shaft, so it pulls the handle back up really nice and tight now. So if one spring goes, it's still got another. Brilliant. And it opens both sides now. Joy, eh? Now I don't know what the other side's like, it's probably the same, but I'm hoping that's its problem. It's just the springs are weak and the pins are gone, so I'm going to try and soak them in, I think, crown rust proofing. See if I can get some crown rust proofing in through the top of the aperture here, you know where the window is. Just before we go, I'll show you the passenger side. It works, you know, it's a good handle, and we'll keep it this way. So what I've done is I've got me a little pump jack between the glass and the door panel, and I'm pushing it out, and that allows me to get right inside here with the rust proofing the crown, and that will lubricate all that stuff. The other stuff's a bit sticky, but it would be better, but this is going to be good. Now you can see now even the handle is popping back where it wouldn't before. I know it's going to be sticky and I know it's going to be messy, but I'd rather have that than busted doors, and then that will just go back to there. Excellent. Not sure, I might be able to pry the glass across and spray inside. We'll see, but for now that's it. It didn't cost us anything, except for an afternoon. But I think she'll be happy at that, because but the rust inside the doors, dear me, I've never seen it all rusty in here. You know, this is it, lads and girls and boys. Rust proof your cars. Mind you, that said, I was looking online at, you know, I get online car prices, or, you know, like what's on the local papers. There was one of these. This is a 2011. There was a 2008 Honda Civic with 200,000 kilometres on it for 12,000 Canadian. Now, years gone by, that would be like 1,500 bucks. But the prices of cars now are just absolutely outrageous. So we've got to keep them going. But we can fix them cheap, can't we? See ya.